really sad. Most people, their ranches have been in their home or their families for generations, and to watch somebody put all of this together and watch it be gone.
It was heartbreaking. It's our home, uh, and not just us. It's going to be devastating for our community for a short period of time. But we'll get over it. We'll get over it.
Heartbreaking loss in the Texas Panhandle. One family's farm up in flames, leaving cattle stranded, and one homeowner and his family of 5 seeking shelter after losing their house in the wildfires there. Firefighters continue working around the clock to take out these flames in the Panhandle. Tonight we're learning another life was taken from the wildfire. Cindy Owens was in her car driving toward the flames. Reports say she got out of her car for an unknown reason and was overcome by the fire. We've also learned the Smokehouse Creek fire is now the largest wildfire ever in the state of Texas, scorching more than 1 million acres. The growing fire has forced evacuations and triggered power outages as firefighters continue to try and contain the flames. Thanks for joining us at 10. I'm Crystal Cruz. Tonight we have continuing coverage on the Panhandle fires. Let's get you caught up on the very latest. Tonight, Alex Camarada is still on the scene out in Fritch, Texas, with new footage of the aftermath there. You can see what looks like a damaged home from the flames, and even the grass is charcoal black. Alex, just how bad is it out there?
Good evening, Crystal. We are just outside of Fritch, Texas tonight in the Panhandle, which is one of the many areas now affected by what we know is the largest wildfire in Texas history. Over 1 million acres burned. As of tonight, we only know that 3% of these fires have been contained. And as you can see behind me, the devastation is unbelievable. This was at one point a business for trailer sales. It's burnt down to nothing here. The state's fire preparedness level at a 3, which means that outside organizations and other regions coming in to help. We're along Highway 136 here, which runs to Amarillo. And as we were coming up here to Fritch, we could see all kinds of emergency first responders driving up and wide-scale damage, and this is just one of the many scenes that have been affected. We know that one person is dead tonight, an 83-year-old woman, and it just seems like it's getting worse, and there's farms that have been affected, businesses, and here, as you can see, residents. The Texas A&M Forest Service, they've been going around and checking on people. There's been evacuations across 60 counties in Texas. We do know that tomorrow, Governor Greg Abbott is expected to be right up the road in Borger, Texas, with the Texas Division of Emergency Management. That'll be at 12:30. He's scheduled to hold a press conference where he's going to assess the damage, like many folks here are. But of course, it has been very bad. It's also been cold here today and here tonight, freezing temperatures. The problem is it looks like it's going to be getting a little bit warmer tomorrow, and those high winds are going to be returning. So that does not fare well for these wildfires. And Dan, how is that going to look back in our area as well and across the entire Texas Panhandle?
Yeah, that's right, Alex. The high winds are going to be impacting us too, but more importantly, the Panhandle is also going to be affected. Now, today was honestly probably the best day for fighting that wildfire as far as the weather is concerned because, you know, the Panhandle got quite a bit of snow, which actually helped. We didn't see the high winds today, which are expected to return. Now, all the precipitation is now out of here, and so this isn't in place anymore to help prevent these fires. Now, the good news is that the high winds are going to hold off for a little while longer. Here's where the fire is currently located. Now, with the winds coming in out of the southeast, this is what we can expect to happen without any human intervention whatsoever. So with winds coming in from the south, we might see the fire kind of spread up to the north a little bit. So Friday doesn't look too bad. The wind should stay moderate for the most part. We'll see a little bit of it spread. So hopefully we can get on the edge here and kind of prevent it from spreading further. But it's really Saturday when the winds really pick up. We're looking at a strong southwest breeze developing, and this could take the fire spreading it across the state, really into Oklahoma, and that could cause some serious problems there. Now, on top of the winds, we're also going to look at extremely low humidity. Right now, the humidity is not that bad. It's about 80%, and it's expected to stay high throughout the night. But as we go throughout tomorrow, and especially into Saturday with those south winds returning, we're going to see humidity values drop into the single digits, which, if you know anything about wildfires, they love low humidity, because that means there's an absence of water in the atmosphere. So this can make it extremely difficult to fight fires, and it also makes it extremely easy for fires to develop. So that's something that we really need to watch for, especially here as well. We need to basically help prevent wildfires by using common sense out there, not just in the Panhandle, but also in the Permian Basin. Jordan?
Yeah, that's right, Dan. We're still keeping an eye on the potential for the smoke to maybe, just maybe, make a comeback. But it's going to be a number of days away before we see any of that. Right now, the southerly winds, while they're relatively calm, they're keeping any kind of smoke entirely out of the region. Temperatures are not too terribly bad. No significant rain. Of course, a lot of that has moved its way well out now into East Texas, completely out of our viewing area. Of course, we're still watching a bit of that smoke. Again, most of which not even being much of an issue at all for us, which is good, because the last thing we need is more of that wildfire smoke on top of the dust that we got just ahead of that front. That rain washed it out, a lot of it last night. So obviously today's air quality is on the good level. We don't have to significantly worry about it, but I do see those winds picking up again tomorrow from a strong southerly flow, which will allow temperatures to warm up rather quickly, a good 20 degrees warmer than what we're seeing right now. Crystal?
Jordan, thanks. The wildfire smoke made it all the way here to West Texas yesterday. Thanks to a front, it's now moved out. Still, anytime we have that smoke in the air, it could cause trouble breathing. Dr. John Bray says breathing in smoke from wildfires can cause respiratory issues, especially in older people or those who have chronic conditions like asthma and COPD. But in our area, it's not just the smoke we have to worry about. He says there's other things on top of that smoke that makes it worse here in West Texas.
Well, it says, any kind of smoke, okay, is not good for anybody. Any kind of very high dust particles out here is not really good for anybody. Now, how much effect it has on you depends on the concentration, risk factors, and how long you're out in it. But if you can avoid it, that's just smart.
Dr. Bray says if you have to go outside, wearing a mask can help, but it's best to limit your time outdoors. Well, one Midland woman is a driving force in helping our neighbors in the Panhandle. Lily Beth Vias introduces us to Pamela Canfield, who is stepping in to help victims of the Smokehouse Creek fire.
I grew up in that area from 5 years old till 29.
For Pamela Canfield, the wall of flames surrounding the Texas Panhandle hits close to home.
One of my sisters her house was close to the fire where, it could have burnt her house down, but luckily that's when the wind switched.
She isn't threatened by the fear of the flames.
So these are some jackets, there's some shoes in there.
But strengthened by the need to help her fellow Texans.
It's still starched, nicely starched.
Yesterday, Pamela took to social media, from Nextdoor to Instagram and Facebook, to ask the town of Midland to help the victims of the firestorm that's claimed more than 1 million acres.
I've had maybe one couple bring a few items, but for the most part, I've drove around town picking everything up, just trying to make it easier on the people that are willing to help.
After driving across town to pick up nearly 20 bags of clothes, diapers, blankets.
When I had all these bags, all of a sudden I was like, there is just no way that it'll fit in my car. So yeah, we have an enclosed trailer, so we'll pack everything in there.
She wants to take every single one of those donations directly to those who need it most.
We have this trailer, and in my head, I can just picture it piled up with things.
She and her family are making the drive to the Texas Panhandle Saturday morning to plant hope in a place where many people's dreams have turned to ashes.
To me, it makes me feel proud to live here in Midland and see all the support coming in. And I hope that, in a way, that helps lift up the spirits of some of those people.
Lily Beth Vias, News West 9.
The Midland Rockhounds are also hoping you'll pitch in to help the wildfire victims. They're taking donations too, asking for things like non-perishable food, diapers, toiletries, and any other items that might help.
I've always been taught help people where in need, and they're also Texans, and Texans always look out for each other, no matter if it's in Houston, El Paso, Beaumont. You always help each other out, and it's no different with Canadian Texas. And since we're fairly close by, there's no reason why we can't help, and we're always happy to.
To help out, all you have to do is stop by Momentum Stadium tomorrow through the weekend. Now, the Raw accounts are accepting donations in their Diamond Club. You can bring your donations by on Friday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. and this Saturday and Sunday from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. The Raw accounts will take all donations to the Amarillo area on Tuesday. And here's a look at other places collecting items. The West Texas Food Bank collecting bottled water for the High Plains Food Bank in Amarillo. You can drop off water bottles at any of their West Texas Food Bank campuses in Midland or Odessa. The Glasscock County Sheriff's Office also accepting donations. They're on their way right now to the north in the Panhandle, but they'll be coming back and collecting more items at a later time. There is also a special account set up at First National Bank of Sterling City. You can stop by normal business hours, weekdays from 9 to 3 p.m. And let's go to Tio Gordo's Texican Cafe in Odessa. They're helping out too. Right now they're collecting things like electrolyte drinks, hydration powders, eye wash, facial wipes, chapstick, pain relievers, and snacks. You can drop items off from now until 3 p.m. tomorrow. And check this out. Students from Midland Legacy School's FFA program are taking a trip to the Panhandle, sending more help to those that are affected. They'll be packing up food and supplies to bring to families in need and even help out farmers with rescuing livestock that were lost in the fire.